So we're going to take a look at the high-level studios statistics report and kind of explain the different areas and what they mean. On this specific report, the numbers are not very high, but it's a development site, so you won't see very many high numbers. Let me start by explaining unique visitors. Unique visitors are people who can only visit your website one time a day. That's a unique visitor. The number of visits those unique visitors have, so if he comes back twice, that comes up over here, as you see the 96. The number of pages is how many pages the 35 or 96 different visitors viewed when on the site. Hits, you don't really pay a lot of attention to because sometimes that can include bots and things like that. The bandwidth on the right here in the green is how much information has been transmitted from our server to the local computers connecting to our server. It's pretty easy enough. The monthly history is pretty self-explanatory. You see unique visitors, number of visits, pages, hits, bandwidth, all for your existing months prior to whatever month you happen to be looking at in depth. The days of the month will break everything down by the day, what days were more popular than others, again by pages, hits, and bandwidth. The days of the week is pretty self-explanatory. It's just what days during the week of this month. Statistics reports are always by the month, so this is an entire month. And this will always explain the days of the week and what traffic is like on those days. This explains the hours of the days from 0 to 23. It's military time, but pretty easy to put together what hours are good for you. If you go down here, this tells you the top countries that are visiting your website. So as we can see here, they say more Russian people are visiting than anything, which is interesting. Under here, we see our top hosts. This is just the top IP addresses that are connecting to us. And down here, we see authenticated users, there's 0, so we don't have to worry about that. Our robots and spiders is the things that index your website. So it's not even necessary to go publish your website to Google. Google is going to come read your website. That's what they do. They read websites. So this here is just explaining that the Google bot has visited, the Yahoo bot has visited, the MSN bots visited, the Netcraft bots visited. Now we'll look at visits duration. So this explains that 0 to 30 seconds is 92.7% of the people. 30 to 2 minutes is 2%, and so forth. This explains the top files used and how many times those files were used. This explains the top pages. So more people are visiting my administrator page, which is probably because it's a development site being worked on. Then more people are visiting the home page than anything. If we look at the operating systems here, we see the top operating systems using our website. So we see top is Windows, then Macintosh, and then unknown, and then Linux. As far as browsers go, we see Firefox is the number 1. It's because it's what I develop in. And Microsoft Internet Explorer is the number 2, Safari's 3, then Unknown, Opera, and Acrobat. These are direct links in from other sites, so links from external pages. So somewhere on Facebook there's a link coming into us, and Google also has a link coming into us. This would explain different keyword phrases and whatnot, but the homepage of this doesn't have that right now. But if you see different keywords and top keywords and top keyword phrases that are going to be most used on your website. The bottom is just miscellaneous stuff here. The bottom is how many people found 404 errors and how many people found 301 errors. So you have 85 and 11. That just means that somewhere there's a link that people are linking to that is a dead link. So you probably want to try to find it. Of course, on this it's a development site, so I'm going to see that. That's pretty much it. That covers everything. And that's pretty much the duration of the report. Hopefully you learned a lot and now understand your OSTATS reports.